You know how people go to specific locations for specific reasons? It might be they want to go to do an activity, they want to go to their favorite restaurant, they want to go to the beach, something like that. For me, I went on an adventure today because I merely wanted to drive on a very specific road, and there's importance to this. So about a few days ago, I had this feeling that I wanted to go down to a place that I lived for about a year and a half of my life. And while I was living in this place, I loved this one road. It happened to be the road that I drove to work every day. And maybe that doesn't bring up great memories for a lot of people, but for me, like, there was so much magic in driving on this highway. And I was like, I just want to go drive down there. I want to be down there again. It wasn't a specific location or a specific place. I just wanted to go drive on this road. And I kind of started to develop a plan of what I was going to do for the day. There is a state park around here that I absolutely love, that I'm in now. That I was like, yeah, that's a great idea for me to go. Like, it's right off of that road, off of that highway. Why don't I go try it? Why don't I go test it out? So I didn't really have any other reason or inkling or knowing why I wanted to come here, other than I just loved driving on this road. To me, it really represented so much of that period of my life. And I stopped right before I got on this road and just reset, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. So I got on this road, and instantly it was like I was brought back to that time in my life, and I instantly just started crying, like so many tears. I just felt such like compassion and love for the person that I was at that time. Like, I was struggling a lot, and I was really trying to figure things out, and living in this place was like when I really started to ask questions about who I was and why I was here. And it's here that I started exploring that to a deeper level. And I would spend my mornings driving and afternoons driving on this road, and I would just be in such a deep contemplation around my life. And it was like I was brought back to all of those memories when I was driving on this road today, and coming back this many years later. It was like an homage to the person that I was at that time, like really thanking me for being who I was at that time. Thank you for just not stopping, not settling, continuing to go forward, like continuing to explore. It was such a tough period in my life because I really didn't feel like I knew anything about who I was, and I felt so lost. And I had just started a job, and I didn't know anyone in the area. I moved here by myself. Like, it was a really pivotal place for me to really start to transform and question things. So as I got on that road today, I was just remembering like how special it is to be able to return to a physical place in your life, or maybe even a memory in your life, and to be able to recognize that the person that you were then was just doing the best with what they knew at that time. And there's so much that I know now, and so the tears that came were a mix of sad tears, but mostly they were happy tears. They were tears of just paying tribute to the person that I was then, that really started questioning things, that really explored. You know, it was while I lived here that I learned that I loved dancing and learned that I loved playing sports. I got involved in a bunch of different sports teams. It was here I started playing flag football, dodgeball, kickball. Like, it was here that I started dancing. And it was also that road that I drove down when I would go dancing. So those were also fond memories, because I loved and still love dancing. And I would drive down that road in the morning, afternoon for work, and then I would drive back in the evening. And driving that road on Sunset, especially crossing over the river, like, it's just so magical. And to other people it might just be a highway, but to me it's just like, it represented so much. I learned how much I love to drive. It was only a 20-minute drive to work, but it was all highways, and it's just a straight shot, really. And I just learned how much I love to drive. I learned so much about myself at that time, even though I felt like I didn't know anything. It was really when I first started exploring. So me coming down here today and remembering that feels so good, because I'm at a place now where I can look back at who I was then and just be so proud and so happy and so grateful that even though I was really suffering and really struggling and felt so little of myself, and just I didn't love myself, and I didn't care for myself, and I didn't know the full extent to what I know now. And even then, though, I still held on to hope. I still had something within me. I still had fire within me. I still had something within me to keep going, to keep exploring. And it was here I started my spiritual journey, and it was here that things really changed for me. And so I'm so grateful to this place. I'm so grateful to these lands, like, just to be able to come back and have a different experience with it, you know, like this beautiful park. It's so gorgeous, and I get to experience it differently this time. I get to experience that drive differently. You know, that drive for so long was me so confused and so much in questioning who I am. Why am I here? What am I here to do? It was on drives like those to and from work that I really started feeling like I'm supposed to do this for the rest of my life. I'm supposed to be in this career for the next 30 to 40 years. I'm supposed to just get comfortable and start a family, and that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, it was at that time when I started questioning, like, all of those things, and started feeling like, yeah, no, I'm not here to live conventionally. And I kept exploring, I kept diving deep, and so it's so cool to be able to have experiences here now that are so different. I can drive these same roads and be in such a different state of awareness. I can drive these same roads and feel the love that I have for myself. I can drive these same roads and be in a completely different state of mind, a completely different state of being, and I can love the version of myself that was where I was at when I was here, was where I was at when I moved here and lived here. And I'm so proud of her and so happy that she kept going. And that awareness is really helping me to give me the strength to be able to go back into my past even further and love the version of me that was doing the best that she could at that time too. You know, when I was much younger and really, really lost. really lost. It gives me that strength, it gives me that awareness to be able to say and know that if I can go back and love that version of me when I lived here not too long ago, I can go back and love every version of me that was doing the best she could with what she knew. And that is what feels so freeing. So I'm so glad that I came here this weekend on just an inkling. I just had a feeling earlier this week I wanted to come down. I wanted to drive on that road again. Not a specific plan, I just knew I wanted to be here. So I came. And everything that I needed was revealed to me. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of life.